Desecrating the Paris catacombs. Feat Kanel Joseph. What does desecrating mean? Desecrating. Treat with violent disrespect. What the f is this about?
Catacombs of Paris date back to the Romans.
What did I do?
When the massive labyrinth was instead used as a limestone mine for Rome's various construction activities. However, in the late 18th centuries, after hundreds of years of Parisians passing away in the small region of Paris, the cemeteries became overcrowded.
Am I being canceled?
And thus grave cycling had to begin. Old bodies were dug up and interred in the newly created Paris catacombs so that new bodies could in the future be actually buried on the surface.
Cemeteries of Montparnasse, placed right above our heads, full of bones, like so many dead people every damn where. When they actually wanted to extend the city, they had to get rid of all those damn bones and then...
Yo, why is he saying that?
The holes,
violently.
And they've been just like throwing everything in.
The catacombs went out of use
in
in 1860, as after the buildup of corpses was removed and interred into the Paris catacombs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I got TikTok brain rot, bro. I'm gonna speed this up, bro. What are you talking about, nigga?
Modern burial methods were implemented, and thus another buildup of corpses that would necessitate the usage of the Paris catacombs did not occur. Today, a mile-long circuit exists through a small portion of the Paris catacombs, and a large majority of it is blocked off to the public, which has led to small, interesting subcultures of people that enjoy going into these blocked off to the public regions and partying and having a good time and still exploring the Paris catacombs.
He's still talking slow. My brain is cooked. Let me do this 1.5.
It in their own way. Though exploring a tomb full of bones seems odd, there's really nothing abnormal about this. Humans are curious and explorative creatures, and this really is largely determined by your environment. Basically, what's within walking distance, what's within driving distance, especially when you grow up and really get into these things. For example, this is really easily seen in the cave diving community. You know, if you're gonna get into cave diving, you're probably gonna live near some cave diving spots, or you're gonna have had the opportunity to travel. So wanting to explore this makes sense.
Bro, he made a whole section for me.
Built centuries ago.
What did I even do?
Additions over the era. Sometimes we've had to shore it up so that the city didn't collapse. Also, the people who have explored there, they have added things to it. So this is a cultural remnant that has kind of evolved over times. At the same time, it's pretty easy to access. There are a myriad of kind of small areas that if you're willing to make a little squeeze, you can just get right in there. And the real main risks seem to be falling down or becoming trapped or lost, because many people are going into these things seemingly somewhat frequently, and I haven't seen reports of people coming out of the Parisian catacombs dying or contracting horrible diseases, even though you can see in the Kanel video that he's getting in some stuff. He's got it all over himself and then eats some food. Even then, it seems that these things are thoroughly dead and that there's not a lot of bacteria or superbugs living within these bones, which would make sense. These are the dried, desiccated remains of centuries-old Parisian citizens, so they're not going to be holding...
You know what? I never realized that. I was touching bones. I was touching bones and I was eating the food without washing my hands. That was kind of crazy. So what is he trying to get at? Let me do this 2x speed.
Probably any live bacteria, any live organisms that could still somehow survive on those bones. So in this tomb, a subculture has formed of people that enjoy exploring the area, drinking with their friends, having parties, and just overall having a good time.
Hi guys, how are you?
And honestly, this is absolutely wholesome and adorable. Just watching these bros hang out and have a good time really reminds me of growing up in the Texas suburbs, of living right next to a forest and going in there and like weaving branches into each other to make a little cool fort that you can get inside of and look out of and feel isolated from the world, feel protected. And I can really imagine myself—
Bro, if you don't shut your ass up, nigga! Me and my friends, we're in the woods, and we put the branches together and created a little fort. Look at that, nigga. If you don't go play some BO2, bro, and get some pussy, bro.
Of growing up in Paris instead of the suburbs of Texas, and having my brother be like, yo, my friend showed me this thing, come on, and going with my older brother instead into the Paris catacombs to explore and mess around with bones, and having that feel commonplace, having that feel normal, seeing touching bones, being around these things, really with a level of disrespect.
We might be toxic, bro, because like, we might actually be toxic, bro, because like realistically, like, what is he complaining about?
Normal. This is absolutely commonplace.
One of these beavers in here is like huge. Like that dude had to be at least like 7 foot. Basketball boy.
What you mean by that?
Oh man, I got such a boner tonight. You need a strokey straw? You want to go 3000?
But does this raise any eyebrows?
You want to go like 3000?
For you? Like, for a while, watching these videos feel really akin to watching cave divers, you know? Cave divers, they're diving in places that are largely untouched. These are preserved areas in some sense. You know, the silt that they might be disturbing on the seafloor may not have been disturbed for centuries, years, some amount of time, but who cares? Like, this is silt on the seafloor. We as a human society have not ascribed any specific value to silt on a seafloor. But we do to human life. Among the earliest things humans developed their respect for, both spiritually and emotionally, was their physical forms, their bodies. The oldest currently known human burial dates to approximately 7—
Okay, so what is he trying to do? Morality? Like, what did I do? Hold on, I gotta skip some of this, bro, because
accident that they were put down there. And that's because they're human. And as a society, we've all decided that human remains are meaningful. They're sacred. They're symbolic of something more than just a miracle of the carbon atom. They are more than just a chicken bone. I haven't really got into the graffiti that's in this explicit tomb yet, which is essentially the equivalent of someone opening up your casket, spraying a tag in it, and closing that boy right back up, and then saying that they're preserving and appreciating the environment.
What you see up there, besides, had a lot of history for hundreds of years on that. That's why so many people already are willing to preserve it, to take care of the place.
So when you say people sit here and preserve and maintain, history, how does that combat with, graffiti?
That's tough topic. It's like I think that graffiti can be like a good source of art, I guess. But if you find anyone like doing graffitis in nicely preserved places around here, like get their ass beaten up so bad.
For real?
Like, because like, some people don't mess around. If they find any of your
is he trying to say Josiah's playing with the bone?
He's very well informed. It's pretty crazy.
So I gotta give it to the YouTuber Kanel Joseph here, actually asking a good question, and the guy at Ecton clarifies his views just a moment later.
What if I came down here and just like lost my virginity, shot a little video?
Oh no, that's alright, I guess. As long as you're not destroying the place.
So you just can't go destroy the place.
Oh man, I got such a boner tonight.
Okay, so this is
Okay. What? Okay, so is he saying I'm destroying the place? Oh, chat. What is he saying? I need y'all to chat in here, bro, because, like, is he trying to say we're destroying the place? I didn't touch that bone and say it was a boner. It was the tour guide. The tour guide, he lives there. How are you going to tell somebody that lives, that's a local there, what they should do with their people? Like, it wasn't me making the joke about the femur being a boner, bro. Bro, y'all just trying to be fake mad about some stuff, bro.
somewhat subjective, but does that count as destroying the place? Do you think that that action was wrong? Like, you know, when he did that little motion with that long dead person's femur, no one was hurt. The bone is essentially fine. If we look at this action with no spiritual implications, nothing really happened at all. The bone is only a little bit displaced. But to me, taking that femur and making that joke is not wildly different from spray painting your crappy tag, and clearly the French government agrees. The context of disrespect to the deceased is equally prevalent in both actions. The degree of disrespect is rather intense in both settings as well, defacing a grave with spray paint versus playing with the corpse. So, why? What is the purpose of this? What is the justification for why this is actually all okay and pretty cool? In reading general discourse, I found a few primary reasons why the Paris Catacomb situation is generally fine. First of all, it's fun to explore the outdoors. It's fun to build a little fort to invite your friends to have a good time together. It's fun to go into the forest, weave together some little brambles, call it Fort Stephen, and just have a good time. Bring a little snacks out there, you kind of hole up in Fort Stephen, you look around at the people.
Nigga said advocating for the devil!
And you have a dandy little time. However, this is just a bad reason. There are a million fun things you can do, even if you want to go caving. You can just go spelunk in a normal cave and go have a fun caving party in a normal cave, rather than going into a long closed catacombs where old bodies are still actively resting. You can even go on the normal Paris Catacombs tour, though obviously
is this nigga comparing me to the devil?
Catacomb tour is night and day. The guide taking Kanel through the Paris Catacombs, Ecton, is a member of one of these subcultures that inhabit the area, that enjoy partying, having a good time in many of the different closed off to the public regions that if you're in the know and you've done some exploring through Paris, you can find access to. Ecton argues for preservation. And this argument honestly has a lot of meat and potatoes because the way he frames it is very interesting. It is more the preservation of his culture, of his friends, of the buddies hanging out and enjoying the Paris Catacombs, rather than the preservation of the catacombs themselves. And I understand that. Preserving this awesome culture, you know, these people have found community with each other in this interesting historical underground labyrinth, and ignoring all of the spiritual implications that come with that, I think that's pretty beautiful, and it really gives a good look into humans, into the social animals that we are. But despite how, like, adorable their friend group is, I really think that they should just go spelunk in some normal caves and throw a normal cave party. Because clearly, if the goal is true preservation, you would want to not enter these establishments at all. The Paris Catacombs is a catacombs, it's a tomb. If you want to preserve the tomb, you let the bodies rest in peace. You don't go down there and film a kind of comedy video about it. And finally, the argument that most of these channels will fall back on is documentation. If Kanel Joseph did not go to the Paris Catacombs, how would we know about the Paris Catacombs?
It's so sweet to have access to those places. And yes, we need to keep them safe. But if we don't show them to anyone, then those places are not living anymore. That's the whole purpose of the thing. We're giving them a life, a story, because we're sharing them. And it's just a fun way to meet people. And it's so free. Like,
bro, chat, I'm not gonna lie.
It's so cool.
I can see where Ecton is coming from here. It's a very interesting place. It's, again, very comparable to cave divers. Like, these caves don't need to be explored, but people want to dive into them anyway. They want to explore them without properly cracking it open. And to that end, I think the main issue for me is the tone of the piece.
I just got fully stuck. Like,
bro, chat, you know what's crazy? Yeah, big, thank you. I'm getting hate for a non-prank video, bro. How that make sense, bro? I usually get into some, you know, some commentary, you know, some cancelable if I'm pranking, trolling somebody. But dead ass, bro, you made a 30-minute video on something educational different that I was trying to bring onto the channel, bro. That I somehow, bro.
I started eating your skin, just like pulling.
on my toes.
I would probably like start ripping limb to limb. Like, I'm getting out. You're not getting me stuck in here.
It's just fairly comparable to making a documentary about a war memorial, and instead of focusing on the war and kind of giving it the proper gravity and weight and respect that it deserves, you're making constant jokes and kind of drama YouTube-y content at this war memorial without really even getting into any of the historical implications of the site that you're at. Now, with
Nigga, what? Nigga, today,
all of that said, this is still a pretty interesting video by Kanel, and this is one of the first that I've seen by him, so I'm excited to see what other exploration videos he's made. Maybe he has some other good content in the area, some other cool sites that he's visited. Maybe surprisingly, Kanel Joseph is a prank YouTuber, and he does make a lot of good content. I love his more conversational material and some of his physical humor.
Look at this pumpkin he found in our yard. He's
That's what I'm saying.
No, I didn't do
Where'd you
that.
find it at?
It was right here.
Who did that?
Right there?
Right there, yes, sir.
I get permission?
Yes, please. You want me to do it?
Do it. You do it.
I'll do it because I'm definitely not that.
Ooh, damn. That didn't even work. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let me get half. Let me get half. All right, ready?
2, 3.
But he does toe the line between just joking around and outright offending people.
so like, yeah, but
No, I asked you who was your favorite superhero, not if you were gay.
I am gay as well. You have a problem with gay people?
No.
Okay. Well, what the fuck is that comment?
I was asking your superhero.
Get the fuck away from me.
Like basically all prank channels, anyone who gets mad, overreacting. He's just totally joking around, nothing very serious behind any of this.
Bro, I was joking. For the motherfuckers who are trying to clip this, I'm not fucking homophobic. It was supposed to be like a joke. Who's your favorite?
It's, for all intents and purposes, a rather unempathetic take. To be clear, many of Kanel's jokes are totally fine, but there are many times where he obviously crosses the line, and rather than own up to that and perhaps not stray into that territory again in a future video, he just laughs it off and dismisses it. This content is of course very popular despite its moral ambiguity. Kanel Joseph may stray into morally questionable areas with his material at times, but his material itself, the dare I say—
Bro, so I'm getting canceled for going to the Paris catacombs, going with a tour guide that lives there and that has a group that goes there. And I didn't make it more serious? Huh?
A art form he is pursuing is not in and of itself immoral. Prank material, goofy pranking art, is
Nigga
good.
said canceled by a guy with 13 subs, bro. Nigga has 12, not 13. Nigga, did you just subscribe? Yo, did you just subscribe? That shit says 12. Yo, he said refresh? Hold up, nah, bro. Nah.
Good. It's funny to see people's reactions to absolutely wild situations when you as an audience know it's fake. This format is quite pervasive in our culture. In the show What Would You Do?, we see a scripted actor acting, and the unscripted responses are essentially the entire content. Prank comedy as a medium has its own moral ambiguity strapped onto it. Enormous names like Eric Andre often stray into morally questionable territory, where if you really consider it from a human suffering perspective, is it really okay? Like, is it okay for Eric to invite C-list celebrities to bother and make them emotionally and physically uncomfortable for at least an hour?
Oh my
Like,
god,
makes
this
it
guy
feel like it's okay, makes it
stinks.
feel official, gives there an air of consent. Even when Eric Andre is quite obviously acting horrific in public, it for some reason feels okay. This same air of respect given to production crews is really not given to prank YouTubers. Prank YouTube feels gritty. It feels like children messing around with people in public, filming it, and publishing it. It does not feel like art. Is the same true for Eric Andre? Is Eric Andre art? And if he is, why is Eric Andre art and Kanel Joseph not art? What makes one of them okay and not
Can
the
you
other?
say my name
This
right?
feeling comes down mostly to the presentation and the tone set by the show's production. Maybe something YouTube pranksters haven't quite mastered. There's an air of absurdist humor set up in the show between Eric and the obvious actors, the musicians, and Hannibal Buress, and this tone is able to follow into the real-life street skits where he is actively bothering normal human beings, but it just all feels goofy, silly stuff. Nothing serious. Just
Bro,
a little—
there's no way, bro. I'm be honest, bro. I'm be honest. If you had to write an essay about me, about my video, bro, I give you an A+, bro.
jokey skit show. To try to show this, let's look at a classic Eric Andre skit where he carries around a mattress labeled bedbugs. This skit was then stolen by Kanel later.
This thing has bedbugs all over it, man. What? Yeah. Oh, shit. I gotta get this thing. Can I get rid of this mattress here? What is the difference? They told me to drop it off here. This thing has bedbugs. I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm giving them like, don't run into traffic. I just want to give you a hug. Don't run into traffic. Don't run into traffic.
So Eric Andre understands the tempo of the skit. The entire skit is like 35 seconds long, and if it were a lot longer, it would likely be a lot worse for it. But Kanel either doesn't really understand that, or he just needs minutes of footage for this skit, so he just carries it around and tries to talk to people while holding this bedbug mattress.
You know where the dumpster's at? This fucking got bedbugs on it.
Put it around the corner, down the alley.
You think you can just keep this for me real quick?
Don't bring it anywhere near me.
Just keep it real quick.
No, put it over there.
Oh, sorry, just keep it.
No.
It's itching me.
I don't want it near me.
Here, just
Get it the fuck out of here.
what's your problem?
The problem is you're bringing over a mattress near me that you said is full of bedbugs.
It does. Do you want to
Get
see?
it the fuck away from me.
Do you not like bedbugs?
What are you, a fucking idiot?
First, yeah,
Yo, that's fucking funny, bro. Yo, Stephen Wood, bro, you gotta admit, that was funny, bro. Come on.
execution. But second, did you notice anything about those clips? In the Eric Andre clip, one of the men's faces were blurred, clearly a man that was extremely angry. And that's because, to be released on television, the people present all have to sign a release to actually be let into the finished product. And that's why when even you see someone truly mad at Eric Andre, if you see their face, you know that the producers were able to quash that beef enough that they were willing to sign a waiver. But YouTube is the Wild West. No waiver is signed. Kanel doesn't even have to tell them his channel name or that he is filming. And people will frequently say, don't film me. And Kanel's just like, I mean, this is a public space while walking around inside of a Walmart. These people
It is, nigga!
just end up being made fun of, floating around in the ether, their own distress being used by someone else for profit.
Then go.
What's your issue?
I'm letting you know to go right now.
What?
I'm recording. You guys talk to the scene. Let's go right now.
You're causing the scene right now. We're about to leave. I'm making a scene, but he made the whole bigger scene. Everybody's watching this right now because of him. Do you want these by chance? No? It's XX. Greatest rapper alive. Here we go again, bro. They always call the cops. Like, what are you gonna say? Handing out pictures? They're just haters. They don't like Eugene. That's what it is. They're Eugene haters.
Like, why can't the service worker just be cool? Kanel's just joking around. Don't they know that this is just a joke? Here we get into a rather big Kanel Joseph controversial
Oh
prank.
my
On January
God!
4th, Kanel posted the infamous claiming strangers' luggage at the airport.
Oh my god, the biggest controversy I have, bro.
And
Oh
all
my
hell
god,
broke loose.
everybody always brings up this, bro.
Now, after this clearly wrong behavior, do we see any personal accountability? No. However, this time, Kanel was so obviously in the wrong, he was ripped to shreds in the comments and across other social media, that he at least has not done another prank in the airport. Perhaps the closest to accountability he could ever come. Of course, this hasn't stopped him from doing many pranks that are just wrong.
Missing cat. Looking for a gizmo who lives in the middle of George Avenue past Bryan Street. He is a singer cat and unfortunately not chipped, so any leads are appreciated. Huh.
Hello?
Meow.
Hello?
Meow.
Because ultimately, nothing is serious. Nothing is meaningful. The whole world, life itself, is just a joke. Any legal action can be
Bro was calling me Kanye Pepper, bro.
reasonably defended by saying it's just a joke. We're filming for a prank channel. And to see this tonal clash with the tone of the Paris Catacombs video is wild. I do not know Kanel Joseph. He may have a deep interest in the Paris Catacombs, and that's why he made a rather interesting video about it. Or he may have just thought it would be popular and visited that as it was a nearby destination on his Paris trip. And frankly, would it matter either way? Is it fair to criticize what someone does with their time in this capitalist system to say that he should make art from passion rather than from what might be interesting? And if Kanel's next video is returning fake products at Walmart, hilarious prank, what then? From passion rather than from what might be interesting. And if Kanel's next
I edited slow. He's back messing around in the streets again. Nigga, I caught thieves! What was wrong with me catching thieves?
Video is returning fake products at Walmart, hilarious prank. What then? Is the world just a sandbox? A mixture of elements to be digested and reproduced in an interesting enough video for someone to put on in the background? Was it?
Is the world full of art and the mistress of the world in the background?
Any of this Paris Catacombs exploration ever about respect? Ever
Is that Paris Catacombs ever about respect?
about understanding history? Did the bones ever mean anything, even to the archaeologists researching them? Or were they just data points on their next research paper?
I'm not from here. I didn't know that was not allowed. I'm from my daddy's balls.
You're from your daddy's balls?
Yes.
All right, bro. What the fuck is your problem?
I don't have a problem.
You do have a problem. You do got a problem. Mama, so you gotta make a fucking dumbass. What the fuck is your issue?
No, no problem.
You got a problem. I'm telling you, I got a fucking problem. I got a fucking shit and move around. You want some dumbass shit? You crazy?
You're just trying to
Move around, bro.
Don't disturb human remains and...
Bro, the clips that he's putting in, bro, he's making me seem funnier than I am, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, if I was a viewer from him, I would go check out my videos, bro.
And don't harass service workers. That's my PSA, probably the first time that sentence has ever been said in exactly that order. And in conclusion, I want to briefly point to a very well-known prank YouTuber who intentionally does pranks where rudeness is not the punchline. Ross from Vlog Creations has made a myriad of pranks that, as with the medium, do come with brief emotional distress. However, Ross heavily and intentionally makes sure that he and the targets leave on good grounds, that there's no bad blood. And this is probably my favorite part of the video and my favorite part of many of Kanel's videos too. The moment where the prankee realizes that it's just a prank and goes, ah, that's great, is wonderful. That's what really makes it a prank. When the prankee realizes that this is a prank YouTube channel and then gets angry, that's a bad prank. You've set up a bad prank. That's the litmus paper test right there. All right, well, that's gonna do it, guys. Like and subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, and take care, guys.
Nigga, bro, you didn't say much, bro. You just said I basically desecrated on the bones. Chat, he said I desecrated on the bones. I'm not a good prankster versus Eric Andre. What is the comment saying? Saying his name wrong. I went to Paris and went to Catacombs. It was such an eerie experience. Bro, if this shit hits the algorithm, niggas gonna think I'm a bad person, bro. Dead ass. Dead ass. Hell no.